You've waited long enough. For green lights, for clearer signs, for someone to finally say, go. But Aries, that someone was always you. And the universe? It's not whispering anymore. It's roaring. On May 23rd and 24th, 2025, two alignments rip the sky open in your favor. Mars, your ruling planet, squares Pluto, not to stop you, but to strip away everything in your way. And the moon in Sagittarius forms a supportive trine to your sun. Translation? Your fire meets focus. Your instincts meet divine timing. Your mission meets momentum. But here's the truth most won't tell you. This portal isn't gentle, it's primal. It doesn't hold your hand. It hands you the torch and dares you to run. Because this isn't just a good day to act. It's the day that dares you to become the version of yourself who never waits again. The one who doesn't need more validation, just a direction. So let's stop calling it a phase. Let's call it what it is, a power transfer. And Aries, you're first in line. Now take a deep breath, because over the next 5 sections, we're not just exploring astrology, we're activating it. Let's move. You've already said yes. Now the universe is watching what you'll do with it, because Aries doesn't just agree with alignment, you accelerate it. The power sparked on May 21st is still alive beneath your skin. It's pulsing through your chest, ready to ignite your next move. And this is where the world starts to notice. Not because you made a speech, but because your presence has shifted. You're not waiting anymore. You're walking in, with fire behind every footstep and clarity in your spine. So what's the next step? Embodiment. Not the idea, not the dream. The action that says, I'm not just inspired, I'm in. Mid-morning, you'll feel the nudge. It's not a whisper, it's a command. Something will press against your edge. A challenge, a task, a moment that feels just a little too big. That's the sign. Lean in, not to impress, to expand. Aries energy isn't about being right, it's about being real. So move. Pick up the call you've been putting off. Send the bold message without rereading it 10 times. Raise the number on your invoice and don't explain it. Step into the room like you were the reason it was built. Not because you're arrogant, because you're aligned, because you're done questioning your timing. Because the world is craving the kind of leadership that doesn't rehearse, it arrives. Afternoon will test that. You'll feel it, a flicker of doubt, a rush of overthinking, the old voice that asks, who do you think you are? Don't fight it, answer it. I'm the one who moves anyway. Because Aries doesn't wait for the doubt to clear. You cut through it, you burn through it, you transmute hesitation into momentum. That's your signature. That's your gift. So choose something today that scares you just enough to mean something. Write the first chapter. Launch the first offer. Share the post that actually says what you believe. Not the polished version, the powerful one. The one that makes your hands sweat and your heart race, because that's the one that changes your life. That's the one that draws your future closer. Late afternoon. Take a breath. You've been in fire mode all day. Now comes the root. Because Aries doesn't just blaze forward, you also know how to anchor. So pause. Get quiet. Ask yourself, what am I building? Who am I becoming? Not the vision board version. The one your future self will look back at and say, that's when I changed everything. Write it down. In a voice memo, in a notebook, on a sticky note that you'll see tomorrow. Let it be short. Let it be true. Let it be a promise. Because that promise will become your compass when energy dips again. Evening rolls in with softness. Don't resist it. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to refuel without guilt. You're allowed to feel proud. Not because everything's done, but because you showed up when it mattered. So, light a candle. Dim the lights. Put on a song that makes your spine straighten, and face the mirror. Look into your own eyes and say, I chose myself today. I honored my fire. I moved. Then breathe. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your pulse in your chest. Feel your presence expanding in silence. This is who you are. Not when you're performing. Not when you're proving. When you're simply being. Because Aries, you don't need applause to validate action. The fire speaks for itself. And right now, it's roaring. Morning of May 24th doesn't just wake you up. It calls you forward. Not because the world is demanding it, but because your soul is ready to respond. Before the noise starts, make a decision. You are not starting over. You are starting on fire. Stand barefoot if you can. Feel the floor beneath you like earth calling your name. Stretch your arms like you're greeting the horizon. Say this out loud. I do not wait for courage. I move and courage meets me there. This is not hype, it's truth. Because the most powerful thing Aries can do is act before they're ready and become ready in motion. So today, don't perform clarity. Create it. Pick the one thing that's been circling your head like a hawk for weeks. The pitch, the pivot, the conversation, and make it real. Not in a journal, in the world, not in draft, in declaration. Because nothing scares your fear more than execution. When you act without second guessing, you burn through timelines, you collapse waiting loops, you wake the universe up, and it responds fast. Mid-morning brings momentum, not because you chased it, but because you moved in rhythm. Now, while the spark is fresh, protect it. Don't dilute it by explaining it to those who can't see it. Not everyone is meant to validate your vision. Your vision is meant to validate you. So be selective, be sovereign, be honest. Say no to distractions dressed as duties. Say yes to what stretches your chest open, not what weighs your shoulders down. Because your energy is your currency now. And every decision is a declaration of worth. By midday, the world will test your new frequency. A request may come in, an old role may try to reclaim you, a habit may sneak in masked as comfort. Pause, breathe, remember your fire line. That truth you wrote down yesterday, whisper it under your breath. Let it be louder than the noise, because this is where the portal starts to open wider. Not from pressure, from precision, from alignment. From choosing to stay in integrity with your becoming, even when convenience begs you to break. So here's your move. Say yes only where expansion lives. Say no where your old self still lingers. And then, take a break. Not out of fatigue, out of faith. Let your nervous system celebrate your clarity. Make lunch slowly. Set the table like you're hosting your future self. Eat without scrolling. Breathe without rushing. Let this meal be a reward for your embodiment, not a pit stop between hustle. Because Aries, you don't need chaos to prove you're progressing. You need rhythm. You need rituals. You need breath that reminds your body that fire can be sustainable. Afternoon re-enters with a hum. You'll feel it in your gut before your mind names it. A nudge, a surge, a vision. Maybe it's a headline you see in your mind, a visual that won't leave, an idea that scares you a little and excites you a lot. That's your signal. Act on it, sketch it, voice memo it, draft the first email, set up the space, whatever the form, engage it. Because you're not building a brand. You're building a legacy. And legacies are born in moments like this, raw, quiet, powerful. Late afternoon, reconnect with your body. Move, not to burn calories, to burn fear. A walk, a stretch, a dance in your room with the door closed. Whatever reminds your muscles that you're not stuck, you're streaming, you're not caged, you're commanding. Let your body remind your brain who's driving. Let the tension unravel through motion. Let joy sneak in through rhythm. Because Aries doesn't just climb, you leap. And before sunset, write this in your notes app. What I did today that my future self will thank me for. List 5 things. Small or large, doesn't matter. What matters is that you're documenting your flame. Because this is your trail. And one day, someone else will follow it. Not to become you, but to remember themselves. And it started because you moved first. Because you dared louder. Because you made fire look like faith. Evening doesn't mean slowing down. It means sharpening. The light fades, but your clarity rises. Because Aries, dusk is your sacred hour. It's when the world softens just enough for your truth to get loud. So before the night pulls you into distraction, pause. Pull out your journal. Write this prompt. What did I break through today? And what did that make room for? Let the answers flow. Maybe you shattered a story that said, not yet. Maybe you stopped playing down your voice in that one space. Maybe you finally emailed that contact or raised your rate or said no like you meant it. Name it, claim it. Then, name what just became possible because of it. New space, new reach, new respect, new rhythm. This is how Aries rewires time, not by waiting, by writing new rules in real time. And then, once the journal closes, the real work begins. Ritual. Ritual isn't routine, it's remembrance. So, light a candle, stand barefoot, Let the air touch your skin like it's greeting a future leader, because it is. And in that space, speak. Say this out loud. I don't need more signs. I am the sign. I don't need more clarity. My action reveals it. I don't need permission. My breath is enough. Say it again. Let your body memorize it, because these are not affirmations. They're activations. Each word is a match. Each breath is a spark. And Aries, you were built to burn with intention, not to destroy, to illuminate, to cut paths through the fog, to lead people, not to yourself, but to their own ignition. You don't attract followers, you awaken leaders, so anchor that. After the ritual, choose one task, something small, but strategic, an edit, a draft, a reach out, not loud, but real. The kind of move that tells the universe, I meant it, because energy without anchoring becomes evaporation. But energy with embodiment becomes momentum. So anchor, even if you're tired, even if no one sees it, especially then, because Aries doesn't move for applause. You move because fire is your first language. And the moment you stop translating it into action, you forget what you're made of. So don't let that happen. Close your eyes. Visualize yourself 30 days from now. Not wildly different, just more real, more precise, more seen. And not because you shouted, but because your presence stopped whispering. That's the shift. That's the power. That's the version of you that's already forming through every aligned move tonight. Let it form. Let it find you. Let it rise. Not tomorrow. Now. You wake on May 24th with a weight in your chest, but it's not heaviness. It's fuel. It's heat gathering behind your ribs, waiting for a command. Because this isn't just another day. It's the day you declare your next identity. Not out loud to the world, but inward, where the real contracts are signed. So begin before sunrise. No phone, no notifications, just breath, hand over heart. Ask, what version of me will I no longer delay? Let that answer rise. It may not come as words, it may come as a memory, a vision, a flash of certainty. Trust it, then get up. Make your space match your frequency. Open the windows, clean your altar, play a song that feels like movement before it even begins. And then, write, not goals, not lists, declarations. I am done waiting for certainty. I move before I feel ready. I act like someone who knows they're the one. Write until the page vibrates, then take one of those lines and say it out loud, 3 times. With eye contact, in the mirror. Let your own reflection catch the power in your voice. Now the world will begin to move around you, but don't get swept into its current. Because today, you are the current. So mid-morning, do the thing you've been avoiding. Not because you're not ready, but because you didn't yet believe you could do it without applause. But now, you don't need applause. You need alignment. So send the email, record the video, outline the plan, pitch the idea, choose the path, and take the first step on it before noon. And Aries, if that makes your pulse race, good. That's not fear. That's alignment. It just feels unfamiliar because it's new. And you were born to trailblaze, not trail behind. Now let's talk about energy, because in the afternoon it might dip. You might feel tired, emotional, doubtful. That's okay. That's expected. That's the tension between the you that was and the you that's arriving. So here's the move. Don't push. Redirect. Shift your environment. Change your state. Step outside. Run cold water over your wrists. Touch something real. Stone, bark, wood. Let the earth remind your fire who you are. Then come back and write this. What does power look like when no one is watching? Describe it. In your actions, in your schedule, in your tone. Then make one micro move to embody that answer. Even if it's drinking water with intention. Even if it's deleting that half-hearted draft. Even if it's saying no and sitting with the silence after. Every aligned no makes space for an empire-building yes. Evening arrives like a reckoning. Not with drama, with clarity. Because the Aries who entered this portal 2 days ago is not the one who's about to close it. And this closure, it's sacred. So let's mark it. Light your final candle of the 48 hours. Make your space dim, sacred, still. Sit with your journal. And right at the top, my Millionaire timeline begins May 23rd, 2025. Then list 10 decisions, declarations, or moves you made that cracked something open. That told the universe, I'm done waiting. Let each one be a spark. Then, flip the page. Title it, What I Refuse to Carry into My Future, and write 5 lines, clear, fierce, true. I refuse to apologize for being first. I refuse to delay my fire to make others comfortable. I refuse to shrink for strategies that weren't built for my brilliance. Write it all. Then, close the journal. Stand up. Place one hand on your gut, one on your chest. Breathe, and say this slowly. I am no longer the idea of who I was. I am the embodiment of who I've chosen to become. I do not wait, I lead. I do not perform, I ignite. I do not hope, I move. Then blow out the candle. Let the smoke be your signature. Not to the world, to your soul. You've arrived. And Aries, now the world moves around your timeline.